Hi, it's Michelle from 12 by 12 Cardstock Shop. Today we're going to be making these sweet little Christmas treat boxes. They are gable boxes, so they open up so you can put a treat inside. But there's three little house options. This is Silent Night. This is the Gingerbread House. And then we have the little Sweet Shop. So all three of them are included in this class. And we're going to go ahead. I'm going to show you a few things in the Cricut Design Space software related to score lines. So if you're using Cricut, you'll want to watch that. If you're a silhouette cutter or already know all about score lines, you don't need to watch that part. We'll jump into the software and do that part, and then we'll get busy making these.
We are going to work with the Silent Night box, but the strategy is the same for all three boxes. You're going to do exactly the same thing to unlock the layers and change the score lines back to score lines. So Design Space will sometimes turn things that are intended to be score lines back to solid lines. And if you just hit cut right now, it would actually just be cutting your pieces apart. So let me show you how to fix that. We're going to first click on anything and the whole thing is selected. I'm going to come up here where these two squares are and hit ungroup. And that starts to release my layers so that I can see the different parts and we can work with them individually. So let's go ahead and click on this box piece to start with. And you'll see that when I've clicked on that over here on the right, it's highlighted in green for me, that grouping. If I click the little arrow, it will show me what is included within that grouping. So you can see that within this grouping, there's another group, and then there's the box base, and then the box line that is intended to be cut. It's not a score line, it's a cut line. And that's the little piece that's like right here on the bottom of each of the box tabs. So let's go ahead and expand this group. And you can see that within this group is all of the score lines. The score lines are all grouped together. So if I select this top part, you can see that it selects all the score lines underneath it. I'm going to come up here under Operation and choose Score. And when I click away, you'll see that now those are dashed lines. The score lines that were grouped are now dashed lines. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and click that top group again. And this will include all of my score lines, my box base, and that little line that actually needs to be cut on the bottom. I need to tell Cricut that these elements all need to be done exactly as they appear on the mat. So I'm going to come down here and hit attach. It does turn it black for some reason. I don't know why that is, but now all of the elements in that grouping are attached. So when I hit make, it will draw my score lines, cut out that little slit on the bottom tabs exactly where I need it on the piece instead of doing them on separate mats. So let's do the exact same thing for this other piece. I'm going to go ahead and click on the piece so I can find my grouping. I'll expand my group. And again, I can see here's the grouping with all the score lines. Here's the box base and that bottom slit. So let's click on the score lines, come up here, change this to score. And then we'll click back on that top grouping, which selects all three of those, and hit attach as well. And now we can go ahead and hit make, and everything will appear exactly as we want it. Now, Cricut also likes to put things on separate mats when they will actually fit. It just needs a little bit of finagling. So you can see that these two base pieces are on two separate mats. Also, you cannot see the score lines or that little cut line, but they are there. It's just because it turned it black for some reason. But we can easily move these onto one sheet of cardstock. They can be cut on one sheet. So if I select this item, come up here with these three dots and do Move Object, I'm going to move it to the other black mat. And it layers them on top of each other. But you can see that if I just turn things just slightly, I can definitely fit these on one mat so that I'm using just one sheet of cardstock to cut out the whole thing. I don't know why you can't see the score lines on this one. They are there. You'll be just fine when it cuts, but for some reason it's not showing those. All right, so you are ready to go ahead and hit continue and cut this out.
We are ready to start assembling our treat boxes. Now we're going to work on these one at a time, and before I show the assembly for each one, I'm going to go through which exact papers I used so that if you want yours to look exactly like mine, you can do that. Now just one thing to note, if you are creating this with the subscription kit, if you're using the actual papers in the subscription kit and you're copying exactly what I do, there's 2 sheets of paper that you're going to use almost all of them. It's the Mocha and it's the All-American Red. Now both of these you're cutting bases from. So what I would do is I would just cut all 3 of your bases to start off with, because the base, like you can see on this All-American Red piece, the base takes up most of the sheet. And so then you can cut the big pieces out, and then you can use like the corners and the extras to cut out your smaller pieces. So I would just cut all 3 bases to start with if you're making all 3 boxes, and then go back and cut the little pieces for all the different boxes. So that's my tip to get started. Let's go ahead and get started. I think we'll start with the Silent Night house. So let me move everything else out of the way. So these projects obviously have a lot of pieces, and if you don't like layering cardstock, you're probably going to hate me. This probably isn't the project for you, but it's actually fun. Like once you get everything cut out, and then you can just kind of sit and put them together. So I know, I'm sorry, there's a lot of little pieces. I combined everything when I could, but sometimes it's those little details and all the little pieces that make it special. So that's what we're doing today. So let me show you the assembly for the box. Now I'll just show this one time, and it's the same on all 3 of the boxes. You have 2 pieces, and they have a tab on the side, which is going to get folded, and then a score line on the opposite side, score line along the tops, and then a score line that folds back on the handle. This is a gable box, so when it's closed, the top will be like that. And then you have 2 score lines at the bottom. So the pieces, the box pieces, all get folded the same way for all 3 boxes. And I think just pre-scoring kind of helps you envision things and how it goes together. So you'll notice I kind of messed that one up and didn't fold very good on my score line. You'll notice that each of the pieces has this tab on one side, and so that just kind of connects all of these together. So I'm going to go ahead and get some adhesive on my little tab here. Now I like to use liquid adhesive for dimensionals like this, because one of the secrets of success with a dimensional is that you get your corners and edges lined up perfectly, and liquid glue gives you a minute to kind of adjust things before it sets. So I really like liquid glue for that reason, and also I think it just tends to adhere a little bit better. So you can see I had to adjust that just slightly. And I am using the Barely Art liquid glue. We saw that in the shop, and it has this fine tip applicator, which is awesome when we get to some of the smaller pieces. But I am just going to get my glue down on my little tabs and build my box. Now you can do this a couple different ways. You can put all the elements on the boxes before you assemble them and make them dimensional. For some reason, I find people tend to make mistakes when you do that. As long as you're just real conscious of which is the front, which is the sides, then you should be just fine. Sometimes it can help after you get things kind of lined up to just put your hand inside the box and press on those tabs. Make sure they're nice and sealed. All right, and then for our base, we're just folding the edges in. Put adhesive on the bottom tab, and then fold the one directly across from it down. Then place some adhesive on that one. Put my next one down. I know it seems like a lot of gluing, but if you put something inside of this, you want this to be nice and sturdy so that it will hold a little bit of weight. So you've got 4 layers of cardstock in there, keeping the whole thing together. So then when you are ready to put this together and fill it with treats. You just fold those tops in and the little side tabs just go out on the side. So it's just a little treat box. All right, so the parts that have the piece with the hole, those are intended to be the front and back. And what I usually recommend is if you pull up the file, I design my files so that the pieces are kind of layered on each other in the file. That way you can kind of look at the file and tell where things go if you don't have access to the video or if you just want to work at your own pace. So pull up your file and then let's go ahead and get started putting the pieces on this. The first thing that we're going to do is add our little brick to our house. Now, these 4 pieces, they do look the same. However, you'll notice there's 2 of them that have little hearts in the corner. The heart ones are for the sides, just because that's a slightly different size. Like it's tiny, a tiny bit different. So I wanted you to be able to tell which goes where. So with this Barely Art glue, I can just kind of strategically place some glue here and there in little tiny small dots. And then I'll just layer this on and it goes along the bottom here. Just going to use my glass mat to kind of apply some pressure to that. And then let's do the exact opposite side, which is a side one again, just so I can make sure I'm doing it correctly. Don't worry if you have a little bit of seepage. When you're using the Barely Art glue, it dries clear, so you don't even see it. All right, and then we'll get our brick on the front and back. And then last side.